It might just be
So
something where like he has to get the best ending. Like
so maybe
all the
him working for the castle isn't what this world wants him to do.
yeah.
Okay, all right, I see where you're going with it. I feel like yours might be more credible than mine's. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergy, the shop. I am your host, Sinji. With me, my co-host, as always, Bay.
What up?
Hey, how you doing today, Irby?
I'm swell.
Swell. It's a good
How are
word.
you doing today? Hmm?
I'm tired, man.
Yeah, me too, dog.
I
Me
am
too.
tired. And you mixing up my days don't be helping me. I'm like, is today Friday?
Nah,
Do I gotta come in tomorrow? Shit.
shoot. Sometimes it just happens that way.
Yeah, you right. You
But
right.
yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
All right, guys. As always, flavor of the week. My flavor is I can't even talk about my flavor too much, but it is straight out of Tower of God. And without giving away too much, let me just say that boy Bam, he's something else.
Shoot.
He,
Mm.
that boy's a problem, man.
Yeah, I'd say my flavor of the week, I'm gonna go with Finna. And it was the part where uh I forget the Anne is her name, I think, the pirate captain. She was like she holds Finn at like knife point, and the colonel's like, let her go. And she's like, we both know you don't have the balls to shoot me. And he goes, bam, and shoots off a piece of her hair.
Sick.
And he's like, the next time I'll hit you. And then she's like, oh, okay. He means business. So that's my flavor. We'll get into that more as the episode progresses.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. You want to start off with a little Tower of God?
Yeah, I'll start off with Tower of God, or Tower of Betrayal. So this episode starts off with Bam falling, and they go into like a flashback of his old cave where he's having a nightmare, and Rachel wakes him up, and they talk and they discuss about going to a mountain. And Rachel says the chosen ones live beyond the cave light. So Bam, for some reason, he thinks that he's committed a sin. That's why he's living in the cave. Don't know why, but it's weird. He's like, I must have committed a sin in some life or something. I don't know. It's weird. But then we find out that he considers Rachel his light and angel, and then flash forward to Bam falling, and I believe Beta catches him and stuff, and then Kun comes up with a plan to get on the train. So then we find out that Daniel Half Hathchild wants to bring back Rowan back to life, and that's why he's continuing up the tower. And then Rachel's group is finally on the Hell train. And the Revolutionary Road has a long history of the 10 families, and people's lives is altered after they walk it. And then they flash back to the tournament that's still going on, and people are still competing, though they have no idea the train already left. My man Bam is still knocked out. And then they find out that there is a way to catch up to the Hell train, and they had to pass a test on the floor to catch up. And then my man Kun, with the ultimate plan, he had stabbed Wang Nan and Yeon in the hearts with the blade, and then chucked it on the train, and the power dissipates the further away you get. So they just rematerialize back on the train. So yeah, that was big brain move. I didn't see that one coming up. And
Yeah,
just for him to
Khan is master planner, dog.
yeah, just for him to like come up with that, like the sheer moment of what was going on was pretty good. Big brain move. And then they go down and regroup with Rack and find out um, that Bam is actually supposed to become like one with the Thorn. Like that's why it's still outside of his body because he doesn't have complete control and he can break apart if he uses too much and he's not whole with the Thorn. So and then we find Kun's plan is to mobilize the train and then get on it. Bam is still unconscious, and in this unconscious state, he's talking to the red Powerball, and the Powerball gives him power. He's like, "Oh, you take my power, or whatever," or he was searching for power. And then the rest of the group agrees to work with each other because they fear that the guy Daniel is trying to wake up Hoa Quinn, the Slayer nominee, is bad news. And Kun calls someone to help stop the train, but then he also has to pay a price. And then Wang Nan and Eon actually are let go of the spell on the train. And then Kun goes meets his contract, and then he's doing reconnaissance and hears rumors about the train. It's been a month since the train actually departed. Then they split into two teams. Akka and Boro, I believe, have already passed the test, and Kun comes back and tells people the information he gathered. And apparently, Hoa Quinn is nowhere to be found. Like he does not exist, and for some reason, Kun's been dissing with Bam, but Bam now knows that Kun tried to kill Rachel. And then we get into a series of events where Kun's you see like Bam's growth and Kun's like, I don't think we'll ever be able to catch up with him. Yeah,
But they're a trio, so like
yeah,
they have to get some sort of fucking upgrade.
yeah. And then Kun also wants to stabilize Bam too. So then we start with the game. It's attack and defense, and my man Rax just going ham, messing up the other team. Bam still hears the voice. He hears a voice in his head. I think he's schizophrenic, but the voice kind of tells him that like he's like, oh, I know you want more power, and so and one of the test takers is able to like cloak their presence, and they try to attack Bam, but Bam hits Ultra Instinct. It just goes wham and knocks the guy out, and they fight someone from the Hindu family that has great defensive power. And my man Bam's Ultra Instinct is just kicking in. He's like, I don't even know how I'm doing this. I'm just doing it. And then they say Bam's like the ultimate fisherman. And then Bam proceeds to defeat the rest of the team. And afterwards, he faints. And then so
My man's got a
then we
power
see,
fever.
yeah. And then we see Zai Zai's sister, the rabbit lady. And for some reason, I picked this up that Rack calls Khan White Turtle now for some reason.
Yeah,
Don't know
white
why.
turtle, blue turtle, sneaky turtle. Khan's had a
Yeah,
couple names.
yeah. I don't know if that's a subtle change. Yeah. So, and then Rack says something about burning the other team in the fight. And then Bam goes to fight Zai Zai's sister in Ultra Instinct. He beats her and then loses consciousness again. And Jin Sung's teacher comes up to check on him and trying to, at Hoa Quinn, separate his body in different parts on the train. And they're about to get to the first part. And Wang Nan and Yeon are staking out Hori Yeon's position. They also figure out that there's a day and night on the train, and you must pass through a certain amount of sections every day. And they think something's off because Horian should be able to escape. And then they have to play Sudoku to get to the next train car. And they have to do this because the path changes at night, and there's like a limited number of paths on the train, and enemies come out at night. Enemies come out at night. Um, and then so Rachel's people plan on using Horion to solve the puzzle because she's a guide. And Daniel, I think he's in love with Rowan because he says a world without her is meaningless. And Jinsung tells Kun's group to slow down, not to worry about the train because like you, if it's who I think it is, you're not gonna have a chance. And then magically, Bam wakes up and says he can't wait. I had to go after Rachel. Lottie, lottie, lottie. And then Rachel group gets to the door and they confront a giant who uses destructive sentry breath, and Harion guides them to victory by kicking them in the testicles, which I was like, dang, that's that's kind of hurts. Um, then Horion and Rachel has a moment where they're talking, and she's like, "These people are way out of your league, Rachel." And she's like, "That's okay, because I want stronger teammates anyway." I'm like, "Wow, you cold-hearted person."
Mm-hmm.
So she says she'll find puppets, and
I feel
Harlequin
like
will be.
the biggest flaw in this story is Rachel. Rachel is a huge flaw because like she knows how strong Bam is and like how jealous of his power that she is, but like she also knows Bam would fucking follow her to the ends of the earth. Like, why aren't you? You could have just stayed on Bam's side the whole time.
But you also think about it too. It's like trials and tribulations because by her going up the tower without him and him chasing up the tower after her, he has to overcome obstacles and be stronger and such.
Well, yeah,
So
for
it's
him, but like he would have done that for her to get her to where she wanted to be.
yeah, but it's kind of it's kind of it's just like the plot. That's the way the plot has to be. He needs to chase after her with like reckless blindness. So that's how it has to be.
Proceed.
So she wants uh Quinn to be her first thorn, and then there's a mysterious man in white, and we find that that man is Quinn, and the gods have filthy blood for some reason. Don't know why that is. It's weird. They didn't explain it. They just said filthy blood. So then they say Quinn is the epitome of evil. 600 years ago, Boro and Daniel had a child. Uh, they were on the train. We found out Daniel was a scout. Boro is a fisherman. Aka Williams is a defender. And Sachi Faker is a wave controller. And Rowan Yua is a light bearer, which I did think Sachi's resemblance kind of looks like Horion.
You think so?
A little bit, just the red hair.
Hmm.
Like they could be of the same family. Um, but yeah, so then we found out that Daniel likes Rowan, and they're all friends once upon a time. And Horquin isn't actually the guy's real name. And Rowan, when they met him, he gave Horquin a tongue lashing, and he wants to be a slayer to regain his power, take back his throne that he lost, Horquin. And then somehow Rowan killed a guy because Horquin made it set up like that. Yeah, pretty bad. And then Horquin has the Deep Souls and Ying Wangnan open the door, and they were in for a surprise, boy. Shoot. The whole crew just looking at him like, oh, who are these scrubs? And they're like, oh, I knew we've been followed. And then Hoquin like cuts through Wangnan's arm, like partially, and then flash to Rack's team. He stay want to fight someone. He stay ready all star boy. And
Now
then
it could just be me and how much I'm into this fucking webtoon, but do you almost feel like with the color that you can kind of
just you.
like you watched it instead of read it?
No, it's just you.
Okay, well, whatever. Keep going.
Yeah, so then I kind of peeped this out that like when it said Geo Theo Grace, like there was a flicker of like recognition with Ho Quinn. and that concludes it. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah.
What
So
are your thoughts, Irby?
I don't know. I feel like Rachel is terrible.
A cunt.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. I also feel like Bam's idiot, but hey,
Yes.
you need a stupid protagonist.
He's simp.
Um,
He's simping for Rachel.
then I also feel like someone's gonna get messed up. It's probably time for someone to die here soon.
Damn.
That's just the way it goes, man. Demon Slayer did it. Um, Yuji Jujutsu Kaishin did it. Pretty much anytime character growth need to happen, someone need to die. They kill my boy Ace off. So
We don't talk about that.
it's a
No, guys. I have a friend who's currently watching One Piece, and the reels on Instagram spoiled Ace's death for her, and she's actually really close to that arc. So like, she was really upset, and she was actually crying. She didn't even see the death. She just the reel was characters' final words, and he was the literal last person on the reel, and it was just him saying thank you for everyone that went out to save him before he died. But like, she didn't see the scene. She didn't see him actually die. She just heard the last words, and then she started crying. I was just like, ah, oh, you got so close. You spoiled it for yourself.
yeah.
But on brighter news, I have officially, unofficially finished chapter 2 of my show. I'm just gonna call it because I don't think I can, by definition, call it an anime. It's not made in Japan, and I don't really want to call it a cartoon. I don't know what to call it, so I'm just gonna call it a show
Call it an
or a book.
animated feature.
I was gonna call it animation or some shit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was gonna pick a you know, flavor from that, but it's like, no, I can't spoil the people
What a flavor from what my shit.
from the reading. Yeah.
You read it? Bullshit.
No,
Yeah,
I
I know
didn't
you
read
didn't read
it.
it, motherfucker.
But if I did, I would be like, yo, y'all got to check this out when they get out there.
Got it a whole week ago.
I did.
It's
Hey,
alright. The
be like
version
that.
you have has been updated anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, that's all right. So, where are we moving forward to?
Um, shit. That's a great question. I guess we can do. Which did you enjoy more, Fena or ReZero?
I enjoyed them both equally.
I enjoyed ReZero more, so let's do Fena first.
Okay, that's how you feel.
Although I
All
am
right.
starting to enjoy Fena a lot more. It's
Yeah.
it's picking up for me.
Okay. So, this installment of Finna the One Piece pirate this week. Um.
The Pirate Princess.
Oh, my bad, Pirate Princess. Well, this episode is Finna the Pirate Princess, the Mystery of the Stone. So it starts off by giving a choice of a blue water or storm cloud in a dream. And then she wakes up and they start heading to Dresden. And Yukimaru and Finna have like a spat about her being reckless and putting other people in danger, yada, 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 the usual stuff. Then Finna asks Shitan to train her in weapon use. So they start off, the montage. She tries a bow, doesn't go very far. Then she goes to switch the guns with Karen, but he's like, "Yeah, I knew you wasn't gonna be able to do that, so that was just for giggles." And then he starts getting ready to teach her Kenjutsu, the art of swordplay. And then he kind of made fun of Sabaki because he's like, "Oh, Sabaki's the closest to your level, skill level, so you should start training with him." So that was funny. But then we get a backstory of why Shitan doesn't, why he chose the bow and why he did that because he was always running out in front of Yukimaru with the sword and getting clapped up and had to be saved by him. So he decided to pick up the bow so he could watch Yukimaru's back. So that was interesting. Yeah, and
I just
then
love how like after that moment, you just see a montage of her getting up, and she isn't even training with the same person. She's training with everyone with everything.
yeah,
I was like, this girl is gonna know how to use everything, and probably will use everything against one person by the end of the season. That
yeah.
is my
What's
prediction.
what's that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none, but still is better than a master of one. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
that's
That's
that's the
debatable.
saying.
It's
It's the saying.
I've heard about the first half. I didn't hear about that last bit.
Yeah. Well, when you get a chance, look it up, sir. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so and she talks about how Shitan is so relaxed around women. I think she's trying to um insinuate that Yukimaru is not relaxed. But yeah, so yeah, we discussed the training, and then with everyone, and then Yukimaru leaves her food to eat, and then they go to the village to get some answers, and we find a blonde woman, Arya. She says, "Oh, she's like, oh, we know what that stone is. Like, I can take you somewhere where you get some answers." And she takes them to her, was it father or grandfather? I think it was grandpa.
It yeah, I think no. Yeah, I think it was her grandfather.
Yeah. So then she's all on my man Yukimaru, and I'm like, dang. And Yukimaru's just like, okay, yeah, and she's really feeling him. And Finna's getting jealous, boy. Ooh, ooh.
All types of jealous.
Yeah, and then Shitan says that one was sneaking to Mark Yukimaru's bed if they stay the night. And Finna gets kind of upset. And she's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "I know women." So, um, then they reach the place, and area needs a favor for Yukimaru, and it's to hone a sword, and he hones it for the old man at the place, and then they find out on the stone is etched D3756. It's invisible for most people if you don't know where to look though. But the stone doesn't originate from the island. It actually comes from France in 1736, and La Pucelle d'Orleans was part of it, and also Joan of Arc was commissioned by Joan of Arc. But the kicker is Joan of Arc's been she's burned at the stake in 1431,
Allegedly.
allegedly. Who knows? So that concludes the episode, and then we get coordinates. So it starts off why I think it's Kai and the old man Yushki, I think, or something like that. And they're talking about people in question, like someone's under a spell or something, and they're like, oh, Shitan trusts deeply in Yukimaru, but they're trying to figure out who's actually under the spell to sway the witch. So we also find that Kai is Shitan's brother, and then they go off to France, and then the Empire catches up, and they reach this cavern tunnel kind of thing, and they
Now,
break through some boards, but I feel like it was boarded up for a reason. Like you should maybe find one that was already opened, but that's just me.
did you notice if Fenna's hair got longer, or did
It
she?
did,
It got longer, right?
yeah,
It's her hair is probably okay. I feel like they might have cut her hair to signify how much time they're spending on their travels.
yeah. But I don't know if they gave like exact timing of stuff because they never said like, oh, weeks pass or 2 weeks pass or anything. But I think hair does grow at like one, what, 5 millimeters a month or something. So they've probably been on at least 6 months. I don't know. But then they encounter a mass of bones in the trench, and Benna gets in a trance, and she's like, "Oh, I'm picking this way or that way," like she knows where to go now. And then flash to the Ant Pirates, and they are trying to catch up to them. And one girl like, "Mary, which way did they go?" And then like, it's like, "Oh, they went left." And she's, "Okay, we're going right," which I thought was funny because they don't trust her, or it might just be like a character flaw where she's terrible at directions. Might
She
be
just always
Zorro.
picks the wrong spot.
Yeah, but the opposite is always correct. So it's like Zorro. Then everyone else notices the change of Finna, and then you find out that she's been there before, and she leads them to the vault, and then she does the correct sequence of pressing in the blocks, and they reach a cavern where they find a table with the glass stones, and Finna puts her stone in, and they find numerals. And then somehow Finna always goes and gets separated, like a little damsel in distress, and she gets captured. And then the Ant Pirates come in and they try to get the information, and they make her throw the weapons down because they're going to kill Finna, but they're looking for El Dorado, and that's what they think the coordinates are that they picked up on from the stone. And then we found out the Goblin Gang wiped out 3,000 soldiers in a blink of an eye. So they're pretty crucial. And then
But then they made it seem like it's not that Goblin Gang. Like this happened a long time
it
ago, but these
it might
guys
be
could be just as bad.
well, if you pass down the tools of the trade and like the lineage, then it's like that. Like each generation could be better than the next because they had you was it Yushi or the old man? He was talking to Key, and he was like, "You think Yukimura is stronger than you?" He's like, "I don't know. We'll have to cross blades to see for sure."
Mm-hmm.
So it could be. And then the Ant Pirates blow up the entrance to the cavern. Mm-mm. And then so we start with mutiny on the Blue Giant. So the colonel shows up to take custody of Finna and calls her his princess. And then flashback to the cave with Yukimaru's crew, and they find some unused explosives, and they rig it up to blow up the top of the ceiling and then float to the surface, which is kind of cool.
Very resourceful.
Yes. And so we find out that La Pusille is Finna's mother,
Mm-hmm.
and we find out that the Goblin Gang is actually looking for a long lost treasure, and they have a Kusanagi sword that's supposed to have been powerful to them.
Did you notice when they came out from the water? Did you notice Yukimaru had his nose and his mouth still in the water?
Yeah, like
I was like, okay, Yukimaru, I get you're pissed, but you still need to breathe.
yeah, I was like, what is he doing? But anyhow, so that happened, and turns out turns turns out Finn is the key to reaching Eden, and they have a little talk on the ship, and Yukimaru wants to go get her, and that, but Shitan's like, you can't. We'll be branded traitors. Like, let's just go back because our mission was just to get the information. And he's like, no, I'm not leaving her. So he's under control of the witch. And
Yeah,
then,
Yukimaru don't care about nothing but being with Fano right now.
yeah, he said something about being in look at the look in her eyes when he left her 10 years ago and the fear or whatever. He's like, I don't want to leave her again like that. So then we found our keys dispatched to meet them.
Yeah, but then we go
Uh,
back to the other ship and Fennel looks fucking fine, all blushing in the arms of the fucking colonel.
yeah. So
Who the
I was
who the
like,
hell
huh.
is the one that's being witched here?
Yeah. And then the pirate captain, before that she tries to befriend a boy named Cody because she just wants someone to talk to, and Cody tells her it's not possible to get the what's this, the the snow sky, or
The clear sky with the stormy clouds at the same time, some shit like
the
that.
blue, yeah, the blue water or the storm cloud. And he's like, you just got to give up on one of them. And then so that happens. Flash to Pirate Ann, and then the one girl was like, "Oh, can I keep this necklace? This around her neck, whatever." And so she like flips into a tizzy, and she goes to confront Finna. And she's like, "Why do you have this necklace? This necklace was from Abel." And da 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 da. It flips out, starts beating her up, and then drags her to the front. It's like, "You're not taking me serious." But she kicked poor Cody, kicked him through the door, and then kicked the man while he was down. Yeah, and then
I
so
don't
she,
trust anyone in that boat, so I don't really care.
yeah. So then they get to up top, and this is when she's like, "Oh, I'm just looking for answers," and all the soldiers and the colonels there, and she's like, "We both know you don't have the balls to shoot me," and he shoots her, and he's like, "Next one you won't miss," and then so she shoves Fenner at him, and he catches her, and then picks her up in his arms, and he's like, something something,
Get
blah
the hell
blah
out of my
blah.
sight.
Yeah, get out. So the pirate lady leaves, and he takes her to his special room and shows Fenna that La Pusille is her actual mother. End scene.
Yeah, it was solid. The 3 episodes were solid. The story picked up.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. So yeah, it's good. I wish this had 1,000 episodes though.
No, you don't. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know damn
Nah.
well. You know damn well you don't want any anime to have 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I don't see this one being longer than 3, maybe 4 seasons at most.
That's fine. I don't see it lasting more than 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'll say 3 at most if you stretch it out. Or if you do 10 episode seasons, then yeah, 3 to 4.
True.
Yeah, but it's good. I like Finna. It's it's action enough but quirky enough to be funny still. So
But on to Re Zero, sir.
yeah,
It took Subaru before we go into, because you write the more detailed notes about episodes and things like that. It took Subaru dying 3 times to figure out what the hell was going on.
yeah. Also, for the record, I was wrong last week. He did say Ghost in the first one. It just slipped through.
Mm, I know.
So
It's okay. I
yeah,
knew. They knew.
yeah.
We all knew.
Did they know?
They knew.
Well, it's just for the record. So proceed.
But yeah, it took Subaru dying 3 times to realize what the hell was going on, and I also want to note why he didn't just beat the shit out of the 3 dummies after he realized what was going on, because he did it so easily the second time around.
Uh, One time, and then the other time he got stabbed in the back, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, fucking idiot.
Yeah. So, yeah, proceed.
So yeah, he's in that alley. He's like trying to figure out what's going on, or what at least what he's gonna do. And to deal with the 3 guys, he assumed when they stabbed him, they were scared of being caught by the law. So in this life, he just decides to start yelling for help. Turns out they don't give a shit about the law, and then he was freaking out and still yelling. And then my man Reinhardt showed up.
Yes.
Now I didn't trust Reinhardt at first, and I still am on the fence about trusting Reinhardt.
I
He
don't
seems
trust
too
anyone.
nice.
Is he though?
I don't know.
Hmm. But yeah, but yeah, I did think it was funny in the beginning how, like, he calls out to Tella, and she's like, "Oh, whatever. And then Felt comes up and then snakes her pendant. So I was like, and then Sutella thinks that him and Felt were in cahoots. So
Amelia, sir.
she's not Amelia yet.
She's not Satella right now either.
Yeah, well, that's where she is right now.
She's not. We don't know her name.
Well,
It's a new
he
life.
called her Sutella, but still,
I
we
knew it
find
was.
out.
I knew it was her because Felt said it was early.
Yeah. So continue.
Oh, see, I don't write detailed enough notes, but at this point, there's like a three-way standoff, and Subaru's trying to convince Felt to give the pendant thing back, and
Oh, this is after the fight too, where where Felt kind of sees him and attacks on site. He's like, "What are you doing in my house?" and whatever. So
mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
yeah,
before they even got there, yeah, she like went off on the dude,
yeah,
and then like he started treating her like a kid sister, and she bit the shit out of him.
yeah, yeah. So this is when they try to barter and strike a deal, but she's like, "I gotta go see my fence." So
And then like after he confirms it could be possibly be worth at least 20 holy coins, he tries to like stake the deal. She's like, I don't get what game you're playing at, and he's trying to convince her to like, nah, I think this kid's okay, and she's like, nah, he can't pull one on me. So he like fesses up and he's like he's trying to give it to the owner.
yeah,
But then door knocks and Felt says it's early. I guess it's white hair girl. And she comes in and it's just blah, 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 fast forward. They're on that three-way standstill. Enter what's the girl's name?
uh, the 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 bow
The bow hunter.
disembower.
Yeah,
Yeah, the bow hunter. I don't know. I think it's Elsa something.
it's I'll call her bow hunter. Bow hunter shows up and like since
Her name is Elsa, but I don't know her last name. I couldn't spell it out.
gotcha since Satella slash Amelia was there, she just started going off on everybody, and it became a pretty good fight scene, I would say.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It was just back and forth a lot until like Amelia's familiar had to go away because it goes that way at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I also found like she didn't think it's strange when he was like, "Puck, save her!"
Yeah,
Like
she didn't
how
question
you
it.
like how you know Puck? How
Puck
you know
didn't
I have
question it
Puck?
either.
Yeah, so it's weird.
But you know what? Puck actually talked to him as if,
He kind of knew,
yeah,
so I don't know.
that might have something to do with him being a spirit.
Yeah, because spirits they can I think they can read into minds and stuff. So he might have looked in and seen the different versions of events that unfolded. So that could be it.
Mm-hmm. So Puck disappears because his time was up, but said, "If you really need me, summon me. I'm gonna make this work," or some shit like that along the lines, or like, as long as it's within my contract, I can help you.
Yeah,
But they just tag team. Subaru saved Felt. Subaru and Amelia tag teamed the Bow
yeah,
Hunter, and then Reinhardt shows up.
yeah. Because Subaru let Felt escape. He's like, "You're younger than me. You got to get out of here." So she runs, and then she's running through the streets, and she's like, "Someone help!" And he's like, "I happen to be in the area. What are you doing that side of town? That's the desolate side of town."
Well, same thing with Amelia. He probably got like curious. Amelia
Well, I
showed up
think
there.
I think Amelia went there because she knew that her pendant had to be fenced, and he was the fencer.
At first, I thought Amelia was there because Reinhardt gave the message to her, and she was like, no, I'm gonna go."
Yeah, I think I think she just it's weird because I think some things are just fated to happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
especially in this anime. So it probably all had to go through that way.
What I think is interesting, little tidbit, while Reinhardt is fighting the Bow Hunter, Elsa, Amelia is trying to heal Gramps over there, and she's like, he can't, Reinhardt can't fight to his full potential because I'm using some of the magic in the air. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, so like you could have 10 magic users in a room, but they can only use as much magic as the space allows.
Yeah. Or it might just be something like the stronger mana takes over.
It could be that.
Yeah. Something
Ooh,
along those
that
lines.
puts a magician fights at like a really like there's unless you're like evenly matched, there's no close calls. You're like fucking losing.
Yeah.
You're gonna need some physical combat.
Yeah. That's how it is. But yeah, it was a good fight. I did like how he he used the club after the guy was healed. Well, back to Reinhardt, straight knocks her out with one sword, and like his special sword he can't use because that sword decides when it comes out. It only comes out when it's of great need. So he just
Picky
like,
ass
I'll
sword.
use this random sword.
Yeah, he breaks it.
Yeah, knocks out with one swing, and this is
I
where
I
hmm,
didn't get the special move because like it got really fucking bright. I was like, how can you see her?
it's probably just like a wide area attack because he left the whole place in ruins.
That's fucked up, man. That was his
Yeah,
man's livelihood.
yeah. So this is where we find out her real name is Amelia, and Elsa, she comes back and she's gonna slice Amelia up, and Subaru comes in with the giant club and deflects it. But then,
I thought it was interesting how he was swinging that club around like it was light.
yeah, and then my man's still been sliced. His entrails about to come out.
I thought he was gonna die.
I was like, dang, he got to do it all over again too. So, so yeah, and then they heal him, and they find out. I think she's going to end up being like a long lost heir to something because she's like, "You got this crest, and how are you able to get this?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to take her with me. I can't turn a blind eye to this one thing."
Oh no, no, it's not felt. It's okay. So do you remember what they said about that crest in the next episode?
Yeah, it's about the it yeah the stealing yeah it's a special crest that gives you the whatever thing.
Yeah, I think that's why he took it so seriously because of the value of the crest.
But then why did he ask her why said exactly how old are you? Because that to me that lent like it like something or someone went missing a certain time ago and you might fit the bill.
I thought he was just confused because I thought he didn't have the whole story and thought the crest was hers at first.
Yeah, I
That's what
mean,
I thought happened, and then he realized it was stolen and mentioned the greater crime thing to not report this.
well, I thought it was more so because he's going to overlook all the other stuff. It's like, oh yeah, the fighting is. It's like I'm off duty. It doesn't matter. But like once he was like, hey, how old are you? Um, I don't know my birthday, but I'm around 15. He's like, oh, well, I can't overlook this. So that was my rationale behind it.
Well, if Subaru ever gets out of his current loop, I guess we'll find out eventually.
Yeah. So then continue to the next episode.
Okay, Subaru wakes up in a bed to two twin maids. One with blue hair, that's Rem, and the other with pink hair. I don't know her name. Yeah, no, not anything about it. I didn't recall her name.
Yeah.
I did note that Rem calls Subaru Subaru, and the other one calls him Barusu.
Yeah.
I was like, what? The
Yeah.
fuck is that? But nonetheless, he wakes up and he's recovered for his injuries. I have a theory about his little ability later on. I could be wrong, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I have something about that too.
Yeah, we're probably thinking the same thing, but I'll mention my theory at the end of the episode. Um, Amelia comes in and she like starts thanking him and like the Lord. We find out they go out. No, they go outside and he's stretching and he gets her to stretch with him. Puck comes out and him and Puck are bonding. Then they find out that the Lord returned to the castle, and the Lord kind of looks like Hisoka, like a straight clown.
I'd just give him Orochimaru because
Orochimaru.
yeah, because he had the eyeliner that extends to his nose.
And like Subaru's just like, "Oh, you guys hire entertainment. That's awesome." It's like, actually, no. I'll introduce myself. I am the Lord of this place.
Yeah,
So then,
and then
like,
we find out.
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Then we find out that Amelia is actually higher than the Lord. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, she's a candidate for queen or
Yeah,
king.
the 47th person or
Yeah.
whatever. Can we back up a little bit and talk about how Betty messed him up? The
Oh,
little girl
Betty
that took it,
fucked him up,
yeah,
bro.
took his whole mana and everything.
I wonder how. Like, I know his reason. Oh, he picks the perfect door, but I wonder. I really do wonder how he knows which door she's in.
I don't know. Maybe they're linked psychically.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so like fast forward a little bit. Super requests to work for the Lord to earn money, and turns out he sucks at everything. And towards the end of the,
He's a hard worker though.
he is a hard worker. Like he's you know what, as cringy he is sometimes and perverted, he's a good honest guy.
Yeah. And I do find it interesting the maids were like, oh, we could see his thoughts. We just got violated in his mind. I was like, well, dang, that's terrible.
And he's like, damn right, I'm violating both of you. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, all
It's
right.
like, huh.
Suddenly
Okay.
hentai.
Yes.
But towards the end of the episode, and Amelia and Subaru have this very touching, endearing moment, and she's like doing this magical shit thingy, and they set up a date to go into the shopping district tomorrow. And she's like, "Do you want me to heal your hands?" Like, no, they're like proof of my hard work. And he goes to sleep in his room and wakes up in the bed he woke up in yesterday. And then he freaks out because he realized he went back in time again. Now, here is my theory, Irby. I feel like maybe he goes back 24 hours every time he doesn't end the day completely healed.
Okay. I can see that.
It might be a far-fetched theory, but like that's all I got going for me right now.
Okay. So my thought process on this was I think he restarts every time he doesn't get the best ending.
Oh.
So, because what happened, because every time he dies, he went back before. And the only difference, the one time where he successfully passed on the level was when he was able to get Reinhardt to show up and stop everybody, and then he also didn't die,
Hmm.
and he got the pendant back to the rifle owner, and they all came out like almost unscathed. So I think it might just be
So
something where like he has to get the best ending, like
so maybe
all the
him working for the castle isn't what this world wants him to do.
yeah
Okay, all right. I see where you're going with it. I feel like yours might be more credible than mine's, but at that moment, that's the only thing. That's the only way I can link him going back to the past is each time he was injured or dead.
yeah. So it could that could be it. Um, I'm not sure. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, does she have to get like the best ending? Because she's like, oh, why don't you ask just to be a permanent guest of the house?
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that theory.
So, so I'm like, it could be that because I know as a gamer, that's what I would do. Like I would find out the best ending, and I would do everything that's fated for the best ending because like that's what it's like for Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or
I was
like
thinking,
what's that game called? Dead Space or something like that, where like you can save everyone, but you have to say the right things.
yeah, that's kind of what I feel like he has to reach the right criteria to save the day.
Now, like I
Not
told
save
you
the day,
before
but
we
like save that day. Yeah.
like I told you before we started watching this, like I've heard about this show, and like I could be wrong about this as well. This might not be the show I'm thinking of, but I think there's a love triangle in ReZero, and like it doesn't fit right now, but I think Rem is the other person in this love triangle.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure right now because right now it doesn't fit. Like she's a maid, her sisters are maid, they're twin maids. He's all over Amelia,
Mealy.
Mealy, or Leah. So like
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think if this is the anime I'm thinking of, I think that's the only thing I really know about this is that like he starts over and there's this whole love triangle thing between him, Amelia, and Rem. But I don't know about that yet.
Man, I don't know either. But I also think my man's is a spy. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but then they found out he's too dim-witted
Oh
to be.
shit. That would also be like maybe another thing. Like it would support your theory. Maybe he has to convince them he's not a spy by the end of the day.
It, it could be. I don't know. I'm only. What are we only like 5 episodes in?
6.
Yeah, six.
Wait.
It would be
5, 4, 4
it might be five because the first one
was 2.
was actually two. So
Oh, yeah. Well, 5. Shit. Yeah, 5.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's just one of the thoughts I had because I was like, huh, maybe that wasn't the best ending because he woke up like, what are you guys doing in here? And it was like, oh, our guest has awakened, and he's like, guess, and he looks at his hand. So
Starts freaking out.
yeah, and the reason also I think about this too is because going back in time, the lady still helps him out. She Amelia um helps out that little girl, and then the shopkeeper's like, "Oh, I'm feeling nice because some lady helped out my daughter, so I figured I'd help you out." And he's like, "Oh, I guess some things are fated." So it might be something where he has to find the correct fates every day in order to move on.
Well, it's just like so all he's really doing is figure out which route he should take.
Yeah,
Essentially, like every time he responds, he has like a tree's branches worth of pathways he can take, and like all the NPCs, if you will without interaction follow the same paths that they do on a normal basis, and it's up to him to like change that course as he will. That's why I think this would be a really dope game, and I guess Tony's playing something similar to it, but not quite. Because he said, if I'm understanding correctly, Deathloop is a game where like you have to kill 6 people, but you have to do it all in the same day. And if you don't kill them all in the same day, they come back to life. So you're kind of just like trying to find the right path to do what you got to do.
yeah.
I don't know, but
Who knows?
that last episode definitely did fuck me up a little bit. I was like, oh shit, he went back in time, bro. I was ready for this date.
Me too. I was ready for it. I was like, "Oh, he's getting ready to go on the outing." Yeah. But I
Uh,
thought going back in time was over. I was like, "My man ain't die. Just continue. Okay, buddy, let's go."
oh my god. All right, Irby. Any final things you want to say?
Nah, I'm good for this week.
All right, guys. That was Herbal Synergy, IRBALSINERGY. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share us, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.